Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
All right, guys, hot off the presses. So 13 minutes ago, so we're going through this together. We have a high stakes early meta balance update from the folks over at ARH. So, like I said, 13 minutes ago, let's go through this together and see what's changing for us. All right, folks, welcome back. So, yeah, this caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. It came out at about 11 o'clock Pacific today. Obviously, the video will go up a couple hours after, but I'm planning on getting it out as soon as possible. So, what you see, I mean, we're looking at it together. I've already scrolled through it and looked at some stuff, but let's go through it and talk about it. So, Gandork did this article, posted it up. It's by the Gandork, the one and only Gandork. So he does a kind of a meta recap. Basically, he says that Mando came out swinging hard. Some good pilots. The Wester 35, gotta love that upgrade. And Admiral, he also So he talks about basically the meta staples, which are Mando. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. This next paragraph, he basically talks about what I'm calling the need for speed decks. And these are, your pilot stay-ahead decks, right? So there's two versions of that. There's Wedge Benthic stay-ahead, and then there's Dak Han stay-ahead. The Benthic one's, I think the Benthic one's probably a little better, but they both have their advantages. Like, the Han one rolls guns like no tomorrow, right? So both those are real strong, real strong. Just a side note, I think people hit Mando early and then started moving off of him. Most of the games I've played over the last 1 to 2 weeks have been I've been seeing a lot of need for speed decks, a lot of the stay ahead decks. Because there's just crazy good value there, right? I mean, I don't think I need to explain that, like this, eject and all that is flanked by wingmen. I mean, he notes it all here. He does well. And then he says, he talks about Jin Han. I haven't seen much of Jin Han. I mean, they're really good because they can lock down 2/5 of your hand, right? I mean, you can still pitch to reroll, but lock it down. They can actually use the plot to play one of your good cards. And then with the way that that deck works, you can play Admiral and General and all that as well. And then he kind of goes to, actually, I like this rundown. I'll just read this. After those decks becomes a mishmash of people experimenting, trying to find some hidden gems. There's a Marin Second Sister Zero high stakes deck out there. Uses the ability to drop a round 1 possessed. Actually, that went up, I think, yesterday on my channel. Is the Beacon Curses deck, is what I called it, because that's who I saw pilot at first, and I do think that's one of his babies. Moff Gideon's made some appearances in quite a few archetypes, both aggro and control. We've seen Afro bring an army of mouse droids and use them to great effect, and Grief has been playing both sides of his ability to let you play some stuff. All right, so cool. I think it's pretty good. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what we've seen in the meta, right? We have, I think we have Mando at the top. I think we have the stay ahead decks at the top. I'm confident those two are at the top. And then there's a bunch of really cool, fun stuff under that, but we kind of have those top ones. So let's see where they go. So balancing act, we feel that Mando has been a bit too prevalent and dominant. Was expected he would be very popular. He's the Mando. So Dengar will be getting an errata too. Should read power action, play an upgrade on this character getting an ambush. Okay, so no change there. After you activate this character, you may remove one of its character dice showing damage to gain resource equal to half that dice value rounded up. Okay. Interesting. And it has to be damage. That's interesting. So, what is 3-die Mando? 2, 3, 2, so but 3 die. What is that, like a 40% chance of getting 2 resources? Is that right? Something in that range, probably. Because it's 1, not 3. Yeah, I think you do. I think 3-die Mando has like a 40% chance to actually end up getting 2 resources then, because it's rounded up. But most of the time you're going to be... I don't know, though. Like, I actually like this change. I mean, not that it matters, but I actually like this change because I think that, like, if you can remove a 3 to gain 2 resources, I think you do that most times, right? I mean, unless you're going to drop somebody. But deciding to remove a 2 gun for a 1 resource, that's a tough call a lot of the times, I think. So, I mean, maybe not round 1, but I think you see what I'm driving at. So I kind of like that. Because he has a 50% chance then on each die. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's right in the 40% range if I'm doing my mental math correctly. All right, so now in order to gain the resource, I have to remove a die showing damage to offset the power decrease a little bit. The resource gains now based on the value. Okay, cool. I like it. Is that much? I mean, is that a big impact to him? Like, huh. We'll have to see how that plays out. That'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, let's say you never remove a die and you just never gain the money. I mean, it's I think it's impactful. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. Next up, stay ahead. We feel it was delivering too much value for its 2-point cost. Yeah, probably. I would think so, right? So it's now, okay, it's 3-point plot. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's going to make some of the stay ahead decks. You're now going to have to, so that's interesting because you're now going to have to build around stay ahead instead of slipping stay ahead in. That's actually a big change. Following that is eject. The pilot support package of eject and flanked by wingman was by far the best thing they had going for them for a long time. Nowadays, though, the rest of their card qualities caught up to those two, and the pilot decks are performing a bit above where we think they should be. Eject will be getting an errata to, should read ambush. Discard a vehicle you control with a matching die to heal 2 damage. Yep. 100%. Love it. We've talked about that before. One of the proposals I had was restricting that in Merchant Freighter. I love it. Awesome. Can no longer, yeah. I mean, the value for ejecting a Merchant Freighter that you'd already gotten value out of was through the roof good. And then, whoa, I didn't see this. Next, another classic transformations card is finally getting adjusted. Have we adjusted every card in that set? Almost. Mr. Han Solo is getting his points increased to 1114. That makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. All right. So, restricted pairs. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this past week, Chopper's kill count went viral in some Star Wars circles, and that terrified us. So for that reason, we're taking Chopper and Abandoned Refinery off the restricted list. Have fun, Chopper. Please don't kill us. Oh, so true. Chopper ramp is back on the table. I mean, it's not really ramp, but that's interesting. So restricted pairs. Yep, so it's off. So we still have Akbar and Jump, Face and Trando, and 3PO and R2, but that's it. And then probably the most controversial change to this balance update is a new addition to the banned list, Admiral. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hate out there for Admiral. So I think that's fine. I mean, I think Admiral's run its course. It's been out for a long time. I think people are tired of Admiral. Oh, poor Bale. Oh, poor Bale. I mean, General's still a thing, so whatever. All right, watch list. Here's the things at the top of our watch list. Mando, did the power decrease do enough? Yeah. So that's an interesting question, right? And I guess that's kind of where I was thinking earlier was like, if you hit Mando, do the other hits actually, like if Mando gets hit, how does he get hit harder than the others, or does he? I'm not doing a very good job saying this, but like, do the other changes have a, like taking the stay ahead decks away might make Din better? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays. Westar 35 blaster pistol. No, don't take away my Westar. But, I mean, let's be honest. That's pretty good value. Like, I mean, right? Like, I mean, I love that card. But, I mean, come on. He says it'll probably end up like Vibrosword, where it's just really, really good and not exactly broken. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Westar is one of those things, like, it's crazy good. Like, I was actually talking to Sarah Evans the other day. She was doing a piloting deck, and I was like, just play Westar. And she's like, but I mean, she was like, oh, well, what, will I have the battlefield? And I was like, I don't think it really matters. Like, it's still a really good card. And if you get the ones, then it's crazy, right? Right, no second chances. This one's kind of a wild card, but shown early on the drawback. It's hard to mitigate, which makes a 0-cost call. So this is one of those, they're going to watch it because it's kind of a pivotal piece. It's a pivotal piece in a deck that isn't really, I mean, right, that's, yeah, pivotal piece in a deck that isn't really making waves yet, but could be. So, I mean, that's like what the watch list is designed for, so cool. Benthic, he already got one nerf, but he fought his way back. Yeah, you know who, so, I mean, I don't think he's going to argue with Benthic either. So, and then there's the new Holocron. All right, and that's it. Cool. All right, well, thanks, Gandork, for doing that. Just one thing I'd like to add here on the watch list. I would like to see Dak really be considered for the watch list. I'd kind of talked about it before. I think it was after the mid-cycle for RDM, where, Leia got bumped up, and I was like, if you're looking at bumping up Leia, like from a pure mathematical comparison standpoint, like I think it'd be pretty reasonable to look at Dak too, because they kind of do the same thing. And like, I think Dak probably should be a 16-point character, right? But I mean, it's one of those things where mathematical and actual practical doesn't necessarily gel all the time. So yeah, I just think maybe we should have him on the watch list because it was Dak Benthic, and then it was Dak Han, and I know that, we've balanced Han, now we've balanced Benthic, but, like, just because we're looking at the other character doesn't mean that, like, Dak wasn't. Like, Dak has 3 damage size and generates a shield every round, and he's piloting. I don't know, Dak's pretty good, but we'll see how it all fits up, falls out. But I think it would be, I think it'd be reasonable to have Dak on the watch list. There's not really anything else that pops up in my head that we would need to. But I do think, anyway, those are my thoughts on top. Yeah, cool. But yeah, just going through the review. I don't know what he's got here. Mandalorian. Oh, it's just a theme to listen to while we're going through it. Cool. All right, well done, folks. Kind of shorter video. Like I said, this just came out, so we'll get this out as soon as possible. And thanks for tuning in. Go Commando.